Yet more breaking transfer news for you, and it comes from Manchester United, who've had a busy old window, haven't you? News of another outgoing. Napoli have agreed to sign Rasmus Højlund on loan with a conditional obligation to buy. The total package is understood to be worth more than £43 million, but United are waiting for the striker to finalise personal terms. If Hojlund doesn't agree a contract with Napoli, he could yet still stay at Manchester United. But the obligation for Napoli to sign Hojlund will be triggered if the Italian champions qualify for the Champions League. The loan fee is thought to be worth more than £5 million, and the obligation price is £38 million. So that is Napoli agreeing with Manchester United to sign Hojlund on loan with a conditional obligation to buy. More on that as we have it.
The moment, but a bit of breaking news to bring you here on the Transfer Show, and it is someone we have mentioned earlier on in the show, the Manchester United forward Antony. We're told now in the past few minutes that Manchester United have now accepted a bid from Real Betis for Antony. It's a permanent transfer. They've given Antony permission to travel. It is now up to both parties, Real Betis and Antony, to agree on personal terms. So Manchester United have accepted a bid from Real Betis for the permanent transfer of Antony. More on that as we get it here on Sky Sports News. OK, let's head to tumultuous start to the season for Manchester United. 1 point from their opening 2 Premier League games, followed by that humiliating exit in the Carabao Cup at the hands of Grimsby Town. Carve, Manchester United have spent £200 million this summer. Brand new front three, Cunha, Mbumo, Shesko. And yet, we're talking about a club in crisis. How is this happening?
Because it's Manchester United. Everything that happens at Manchester United is box office, it's back page news. I think in the old days on Fleet Street, sports editors used to say, you can never go wrong by filling your pages full of stories about Manchester United. Basically, what's happened is they got knocked out of the Carabao Cup in a game they drew and then they lost on penalties. The goalkeeper made some more mistakes. They played pretty well against Arsenal. I think it's not a crisis at any other club, but it's a crisis because it's Manchester United. Everything that happens at United is either a triumph or a crisis. It's always back page news. And I think Ruben Amorim, he's a very emotional person. He's a very honest person. But maybe he's underestimated how much everything he says and does is under the microscope and is going to get scrutinised and talked about, not just by us, but also on social media. But that's what happens when you're the manager of Manchester United.
Yeah, and a number of players are under the microscope as well, particularly ones that have been linked with a move away from Old Trafford before Monday's deadline. Here's what Ruben Amorim had to say about Kobbie Mainoo today.
I want Kobbie to stay. He needs to fight for his place, and we need Kobbie. So that is not going to change. The rest, I don't know how he's going to finish. I understand that the players that are not playing in this moment are disappointed, but everyone has the same, will have the same opportunity to play. You have to fight during the week.
So Ruben Amorim says Kobbie Mainoo has to fight for his place. He said that he wants to go on loan for the rest of this season to get more game time, Sky. Manchester United say, no, we don't want to do that. We're not going to countenance a loan move at all. If you were in the shoes of Mainoo's representatives, what kind of advice would you be giving him? And is the advice he's been given to make it clear he wants to go on loan the best advice?
Look, the first thing a good representative says to young players is you have to win your battles. If you don't try and win your battles, you're going to go somewhere else. And then if it doesn't work out for you, then you're going to be in the same scenario. I don't know what's going on at Manchester United. What's bloody going on? You know? I mean, why are these young players wanting to leave one of the biggest clubs in the world? For me, there's no excuse. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world. They've got unbelievable funding, incredible infrastructure. Other clubs shouldn't be competing at a higher level than them. And young players shouldn't want to leave a club like Man United. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but for one thing, I think that good young players should have Man United at the top of their list. And just an example of a young player saying, I want to leave, is not good PR. It's not a good image. You know, in my view, Man United should be trying to come to some kind of arrangement with Kobbie Mainoo for him to stay and be part of the team. Because young players leaving all the time is just not a good look.
James, Sky says young players should not be in a position where they want to leave Manchester United, but Kobbie Mainoo is not the only one, is he?
No, Alejandro Garnacho looks like he's going to go as well, but Rasmus Højlund, and I think Manchester United fans have a huge amount of sympathy for Rasmus Højlund because the start of pre-season he looked really good, but things changed very quickly as soon as Benjamin Sesko became a United player. It looks like he's going to travel to Naples in the next 24 to 48 hours. That's what Naples hope anyway. We're just waiting for the final bits to be agreed when it comes to personal terms. His representatives are in Naples right now, and there's growing confidence that a full agreement can be reached. There's an agreement in principle that Rasmus Højlund will join Napoli on loan with an obligation to buy at the end of the season, and that obligation to buy in total, this will cost around £40 million, which is what Manchester United were looking for, and that obligation is dependent on Napoli qualifying for the Champions League. And bearing in mind they won Serie A last season, it seems likely that this is going to be a permanent exit for Rasmus Højlund. And the reason why there's sympathy is this guy came in 2 years ago to lead the line for Manchester United at such a young age after having an impressive spell at Atlanta where he scored 8 or 9 goals. He was never the right player to be leading the line for Manchester United, but because of the way things worked out of injuries and lack of signings, he had to lead the line. He was successful in Europe, in the Premier League not so much. I think in an ideal world, I think United would love to keep this player on the books and alone him come back after a season at AC Milan and reassess him and him come in and compete with Benjamin Sesko. But because of the business they've done, there is a need to bring in money, and £40 million does represent good business considering the 2 years that Hojlund's been there for.
Yeah, and it's not just Rasmus Højlund, is it, that Manchester United are looking to sell or offload? Antony is one. Real Betis increasingly confident now that they can strike a deal alone with an obligation. That one could be worth over £30 million eventually. Tyrell Malacia, Elche, one of a number of clubs who are interested. He's got 1 year left on his contract, but United are happy to see him go on loan. Jadon Sancho, possibly the 4th or 5th transfer window in a row we are talking about him. He could yet remain at Manchester United because there doesn't seem to be anything as concrete as the other players just now. Roma are interested. There are Saudi clubs interested, Turkish clubs interested as well, but he doesn't seem anywhere closer to a move. Carve, James mentioned his name there at the top, Alejandro Garnacho. That one does look closer to departure, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the move that he wanted. Compromise was reached. Chelsea paying £40 million, probably a little bit more than Chelsea wanted to pay, a little bit less than United wanted. He's been having his medical today, and we're just waiting for official confirmation that he is now a Chelsea player.
So Chelsea for Garnacho. Can you see them doing any more ins or outs?
Well, I think they're still in talks to sign a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper from Royal Antwerp, they're in talks to bring him in. I still think they need more. When you look at the way they've been performing, OK, they've totally changed their front line, but I still think they need, to look at the goalkeeping situation. Midfield as well doesn't look exactly right, but time's running out.
And what about Chelsea? Ins and outs there? Potentially, you mentioned Garnacho. Do you think they can bring anyone else in, or
Chelsea
is the focus on sales?
Chelsea are always spinning plates. They're always trading.
Rio Ferdinand raises doubts over Man United's move for €17 million star and warns the potential new signing could cause problems for Ruben Amorim's side. Rio Ferdinand has questioned whether Manchester United target Sen Lamens has the experience required to solve his former side's goalkeeping troubles. The Red Devils find themselves 16th in the Premier League table after failing to win either of their opening 2 fixtures. Arsenal left Old Trafford with all 3 points on the opening day of the season before United had to settle for a 1-1 draw at Fulham on Sunday. Ruben Amorim's side have nevertheless showed slight signs of improvement on last season, with his favored back three of Lenny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt, and Luke Shaw forming a promising partnership, and new recruits Matheus Cunha and Brian Buemo providing a spark up front. But the Red Devils' clear Achilles heel so far this term has been in goal, with Amorim opting for Altay Bayındır in place of last season's regular Andre Onana, who is seemingly surplus to requirements. The Turkish international has struggled to impress despite his manager's very public backing of him. Flapping under crosses and appearing less than confident with the ball at his feet, Rio Ferdinand has questioned whether Man United target Sen Lammens is experienced enough to be the number one at Old Trafford. The Belgian goalkeeper looks set to leave Royal Antwerp for the Red Devils in a deal worth €17 million. His struggles have prompted United bosses Jason Wilcox and Omar Berarda to make a late bid to sign Royal Antwerp's 23-year-old shot stopper Sen Lammens. The Belgian, who missed his side's fixture against Mechelen at the weekend, is believed to be edging closer to completing his move to the Premier League after agreeing personal terms with United. Red Devils great Rio Ferdinand has, however, questioned whether Lammens is the answer to his former side's woes in net, arguing United should be targeting a more experienced keeper. United have entered negotiations for Sen Lammens, who is a young 23-year-old keeper from Antwerp, but he's not experienced, the 46-year-old said on his Rio Ferdinand Present channel on YouTube. Is this more about squad depth and not someone who is going to come in and play immediately?